Welcome to another edition of Survival Mode, where we give entrepreneurs a step-by-step roadmap to starting their own business. I'm Bert Robinson.
I'm Kevin Beers.
I'm Michael Grant Jr.
You can reach us by email at hello@survivalmode.live or check out our website at www.survivalmode.live. Let's get to it. Welcome back to another edition of Survival Mode. Now, these guys, I hope they're calm. It is time for the launching of the Coming Soon campaign. I'm excited. Okay, now launch the campaign and make sure that you're getting as much data as possible to inform you of the market's receptiveness. I can't get that word out for some reason. To you, your market positioning, all those different things. Now, Kevin, why is that so important? Data? I don't need that. I'm just trying to go. I'm trying to get ready to open up. Why do I need data?
Because you're talking to a data analyst, and that's kind of what I do.
Oh, okay.
So for me, okay, let me speak as a marketer. As a marketer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some test marketing out there, just a little bit, because I want to make sure that. One mistake that a lot of people make is they go all in when they start their marketing. And what if you're missing the mark? What if your campaign is not hitting home with people? You've spent a lot of money to find that out. You can trickle your campaign in for a few weeks or a couple of weeks just to get enough data back. And I'm talking in the digital space right now, but to get that data back to say whether or not you're hitting home with the people that you're trying to reach. If you're not hitting home, you didn't waste a lot of money, but it was actually money well spent because you found out that's not working, whatever it is you're doing. So if it's not working, you tweak it. Don't pour a lot of money in still. And I'm not talking about $5 a day. Okay. I'm talking about a little bit more than that. But what I am talking about is don't go all in until you know where the mark is, because even the best marketers, depending on what they're trying to market for, might miss who they're trying to really reach. And that's why, as a marketer, we kind of trickle it out there and just get a feel for it. Now, that's in the digital space. When you're talking about newspaper ads, like let's say you're trying to hit a much older population because they still read the newspaper. A lot of young folks don't. But if we're going after an older market, put it out there. Now, give them a way to respond back to you and see if you're getting any responses. That's another way to collect data. It's not as hard as digital evidence, but it's a way that you can find that out. For instance, I've often heard, write to your congressman. Well, if they receive a letter, that counts as a certain weight of response. If it's a phone call, it's not quite as big as a letter, because to write a letter takes a lot more effort. So as you're doing your campaign, you can think of it the same way. If it's a newspaper ad and somebody responds, that's a really great thing because it takes effort to respond to something like that. On the digital platform, maybe they have to hit a button. Anybody can hit a button. That's not really worth a lot unless you get a lot of it. But in response to newspaper, you don't need as much. Then maybe it's a sign on the road. Actually a sign in your window before your store is, let's say it's a store. Your store is not open, but you put a QR code in the window. Did someone scan and go to the site? There's ways to gather this information without directly, like the digital platforms give you a way to look at analytics. These are ways to create your own analytics to see what kind of response you're really getting. So this is a very important part of, before you go all in, just make sure you're getting the responses back.
Now, and once you get those responses back and they're positive, now we'll talk about positive in just a few. But what if it's negative, Kevin? Michael? Okay, Kevin, you answer that. What if the response is negative? What are you going to do?
Well, now we got to look at the data to see what it's telling us. Why is it negative? Is it that? Well, for instance, I keep talking about this one where I was advertising toward men, but the responses coming back were from women. So now I have to figure out why that is. And in that case, it turned out that the women were buying it for their men. The men weren't as responsive to it. Maybe they weren't seeing it, or maybe it just didn't strike them, but it struck their women who bought for them. So you got to start looking at all the pieces in your campaign to see, why is the responses I'm getting, why are they what they are? If you're advertising flowers, your response around Valentine's Day should be much bigger than it is at some other time. So there's that kind of, you're looking at all these different aspects. That's why having a marketer working for you is actually a really good idea.
Now, I like that. I like that. Now, Michael, I'm getting negative on your end. I'm getting negative responses. Now, Kevin talked about marketing aspect, but now let's talk about. I know you're your money aspect. I'm getting negative. What you going to do about it money wise?
Well, before I answer that, go ahead and tell people what they can do.
Oh, well, they can go to our website at www.survivalmode.live, or they can email us at hello@survivalmode.live. Oh, way to go, Michael. All right, now go ahead and tell everybody that
Thank you
negative
very
aspect.
much. So listen to this. Now, this is some stuff here. Okay, and you told, hey, now I can give him my energy, right? So, so understand this. Negative is negative. Negative is never negative in business. Negative is information. It's data. It's telling you something. You may not want a certain response, but guess what? You have to use whatever you get to your advantage. Now, what it can tell you is that you have missed the mark in what your intentions were. But the great thing is, it's showing you how the people think, how they responded, if they didn't respond. All this information is huge. People do not understand data.
No, Michael. I'm going on the client aspect of it. Okay, I'm dishing all this money out. I'm doing this. Okay, why is it negative now? I mean, I thought I was doing everything right. What did I do wrong, Michael?
What you did wrong is you didn't hire a professional to do it for you.
And thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. But
the reason why I say this is, listen, you how can I put it? You don't go inside of a world-class restaurant and go in the kitchen and cook. You can't compete with a chef who's been training for years. Don't go in the arena with an arrogant spirit, with you thinking that you can do this stuff yourself. Be true to yourself. I was going to quote Shakespeare, but I'll wait. But the thing is, if you're not, and I'm gonna address this directly, Burke, because you're saying some great points. If you're not getting the response you want or you're looking for, this is the time to say, you know what? I need help. And it's great to get the help now before you open up your doors and lose a lot of money.
I knew you were going there with that. When you do this, when you have your entire campaign together, that means it's structured, it's scheduled, and with systems to manage and maintain and measure your progress. Wow. One of the things that Kevin and I we talk about a lot is, a lot of people don't fail to plan. They just fail to plan. Oh, no, that's not it. Hold on. We say this all the time and I mess it up all the time. We don't Kevin, help me out now.
We don't plan to fail.
We don't plan to fail. We fail to plan.
Oh my goodness.
Every time. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, I guess it's my age. Okay, I'll let it be like that. But we fail to plan. We don't plan to fail. We fail to plan.
It's the truth.
You alleviate a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, out of all of this, because you're trying to be structured, you're trying to plan, you're trying to prepare, and you're trying to position. You are answering a lot of questions now before the big money comes out. Go ahead, Michael.
I gotta jump in. This is why we broke this stuff down in a way that we broke it down. This is why we broke down these steps. If people listen, you don't have to know anything about anything, but if you pay attention to the steps and you just take steps and put forth effort and learning and or applying the information in the steps, you will plan better. We're showing you this stuff is showing you technically how to plan, prepare, and position better. When think about it like this, and I'm almost done, but you got me excited. What else? But think about it like this: we're telling people establish a coming soon campaign. Most people don't tell startup people this stuff. Most people focus so much on sales and getting incorporated and getting the products and positioning for the services, they forget about positioning the market for them. We are telling people position the market for you, establish a coming soon campaign so that the market can be ready and willing to patronize your business.
Let me close it with this. The coming soon campaign is crucial to establishing market positioning while gaining information, insight, and intelligence about your market. Just like you were saying, Michael, your coming soon campaign is your official announcement to let the general public know that you will be soon opening and ready to serve them. Okay, work this campaign consistently prior to your launch party, and that's the official opening, so you can have momentum and market positioning prior to launch. It's so important. It's so important. But what I want to say before we go, look at the steps. Listen to our steps, because next week, step number 9. Oh my goodness! Stay tuned for that. We'll be back next week. Have a good one. You've been listening to Survival Mode, where we give entrepreneurs a step-by-step roadmap to starting their own business. You can reach us by email at hello@survivalmode.live or check out our website at www.survivalmode.live, where you'll find help to start your own business and personal financial guidance. You'll also find a library of our previous shows. We'll see you the same time next week.